owner's class for the Singer 2263 sewing machine. My name's Devin, and I'm going to help you get all set up on your brand new machine. We're going to start by talking about all the stuff that comes in the box and how it looks when you first pull it out. So first of all, you have your machine, obviously. You have your instruction manual. This is very important. You want to hang on to this. There's a lot of good information about how to set up and operate your sewing machine, so you definitely want to keep it. Don't throw it away. You'll also find a quick start guide in the box. So this is basically a cheat sheet. So if you just want to look up something really quickly that's basic about setting up your machine or threading, you can look at the quick start guide. You have your foot pedal and power cord. And if you take off the removable storage compartment, which is right here, you'll find your other accessories. So you have a couple of spare bobbins and needles, some feet, and a few other things that we'll talk about in a little bit. We're going to go over how to properly thread and set up your machine, how to wind a bobbin, and how to get started sewing. But first, we're going to start with a tour of the machine parts. We're going to start with something really super simple, and that is the power switch. So you'll find the power switch on the right side of your machine. It's right above the cord where the cord plugs in. So when the light comes on, you know your machine is on. The cord has actually two cords. One goes to the wall to the power source. The other one goes to the foot pedal to the floor. That's how you're going to operate your sewing machine. And it's just like a car. The harder you push it, the faster it'll sew. Above the power switch is the hand wheel. So that's this wheel right here, and we're going to go ahead and turn it. This is the manual version of pushing the pedal. And whenever you turn the hand wheel, you always want to turn it towards you. So try to remember that. It'll just make your sewing go a lot better and prevent the needle coming unthreaded and jams and things like that. So when we turn the hand wheel, you'll notice that there are some parts moving. And if we jump over here, you can see a silver hook that is bobbing up and down as we turn the hand wheel. That hook is called the take-up lever, and that will be important once we get to threading. So just remember that when we get to threading, that's what that's called, the take-up lever. Moving to the top of the machine, we have a carrying handle. So in case you need to move your machine, you can use this. There's this dial right here. This is called the tension dial, and it's labeled, it says tension. So tension refers to essentially the tightness of your stitches. And it is set right now on 4, which is the neutral setting, and that's pretty much where you want to leave the tension set, unless you're doing something really specific or doing a fine-tuning adjustment. But for the most part, you can just leave that set right on 4, which is the middle of the range of numbers, and you'll be good to go. Moving on down towards the needle, there's this silver metal prong piece right here. This is called the presser foot. And if you reach back behind the machine, there's a lever that will actually let you raise and lower the presser foot. So the presser foot's job is to press down on the fabric against the feed teeth, which are these little pieces under the presser foot, which move the fabric through the machine. So you can think of the presser foot like park and drive. Basically, when the presser foot is up, your machine's in park. When you're ready to sew, you're going to put the presser foot down and sew. When you're finished, you'll put it back up to put your machine in park. Over here we have the stitch selector dial. So this is how you're going to tell the machine what you want it to sew when you push the pedal. And you can move it around and select which stitch you want to use. Above it we have the stitch length dial. So this is how we control how long the stitch is. There's a range of numbers here. And if you notice, there is S1 over here, which is blue. And when you put it on S1, that's how you access the blue stitches down on the stitch selector dial. So you can see that each stitch has a black stitch and a blue stitch. So when you set the length dial to the blue S1, that's when you're going to be accessing those blue stitches down here. We have a stitch width dial up here on the top of the machine, also labeled. So this is how you control how wide a stitch is. It can also control your needle position. So that's how you would control that if you ever need to move your needle position while you're sewing. Last part to talk about is the reverse button, or reverse lever, which is this blue piece right here. This is how we're going to sew backwards, which we do sometimes to help secure our stitching in place. So we'll use the reverse lever for that. So let's get started by setting up our machine and winding a bobbin. Welcome to the owner's class for the Singer 2263 sewing machine. My name's Devin, and I'm going to help you get all set up on your brand new machine. We're going to start by talking about all the stuff that comes in the box and how it looks when you first pull it out. So first of all, you have your machine, obviously. You have your instruction manual. This is very important. You want to hang on to this. There's a lot of good information